So hi everyone, welcome back to our new YouTube video. And today we have with us Rishav, who is already working in TCS for last 3 years. And today in today's videos, we will be discussing more about how development works and how was the Rishab's journey in terms of TCS and a lot of things we will be discussing later. So before even starting, Rishabh, please could you introduce yourself in your language that how do you define yourself? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Anshuman, and hi, viewers. So first of all, a huge thanks to Anshuman for inviting me to his channel. And hi, guys. I am Rishav Chatterjee. So I am born and brought up in Kolkata, and I am based out of the same place. So currently, I am having 3 years of work experience in Tata Consultancy. Uh, Services, and I have been working for the past 3 years in the research and innovation labs of TCS. So the journey has been like so much. It's been a roller coaster ride for me. It has been awesome. A lot of learning has happened throughout my journey so far, and yeah, each and every day also I am learning a lot new things, and that's what I firmly believe in. Right, the day you feel that there is like you are not learning a single thing, or that when you are going to sleep at night and you think about it, that today was a completely a waste day, I have not learned anything. That is the time when you need to give yourself a reality check. So far that day has not come to my life yet. Every day I'm learning so much, and yeah, life has been awesome till now.
Oh, great
So
introduction. Even your introduction says a lot about you. The way you express is quite tremendous. Okay. So Rishabh, as you told that you are working in TCS in last 3 years. So firstly, let the audience know how was your overall experience like, because if we talk about college, just after college, if we land a job, especially in those MNCs, TCS, Infosys, Wipro. So this is very common with people do have in their mind, like there is no that much of progression in terms of your career growth. So we would be coming later, but in short, if you'll have to share your experience, that how did you feel and what kind of good project you had worked on in TCS, so that people would be fantasize about TCS and all. Yeah.
yeah, sure. So yeah, a lot of things are there, obviously, and straight out of college, if you join like a company, you are going for the first time as a fresher, and it's a multinational company, right? So like a lot of things happens in your mind. Will I be a fit for corporate or not? How will my job will be, and what I am going to get? See, the specific point you have specified, right? That lot of people has similar kind of thoughts, right?
Correct.
There is no such significant career growth if you are in in the which companies, to be precise, if you are in TCS, Wipro, things like that. See, from company to company, it really depends, and the most what uh, according to my experience, what I think is that mostly it depends on project, and like how your teammates are, and more precisely under which manager you are working. If your manager is someone who loves growth, who loves who is not micromanaging stuffs, okay,
Mhm, mhm.
who is truly interested in making you grow, right?
Correct.
So it doesn't matter if you are in a service-based company or big four, or in a product-based company, your career path will be great. Yeah, one thing is there, definitely that's in every company, every aspect will be there, that service-based companies, in terms of financial growth, yeah, it's really like there is no debate, and no
Mhm.
shame in accepting the fact that financial wise the growth is very poor. Okay, still today, the
Yeah.
financial wise, if you see the year on year hike
Right.
that you get, or to increase your package, the only thing is you keep on switching jobs, you switch, and then your package gets increased and things like that. But until or unless you are like in the same company, the financial growth is definitely really less. Okay, that's one aspect, and that's totally true, and I do agree with it. But see, what I have realized in life is that obviously everyone wants to earn. They have their own
Correct.
financial dreams, like they
Mhm.
want to be financially established. They have to like they have dreams in their mind. They have to buy their own house. They want to buy their their dream sports bike or something like that. This
Right.
kind of financial goals are in our mind, and
Hmm.
everyone works to earn, right? So if someone is saying that, no, dude, I am just I am working just to follow my cause I like this work, like this kind of job, he is lying. Because if you are not earning and you are doing a job, continuous job, then you will never enjoy the thing, right?
Hmm.
So the first myth we should burst is money is important. Obviously important. You need to think about yourself. You need to think about giving your parents a good life. You need to think about your future also. So
Correct.
obviously that is important. But that's not everything. When I say that, okay, I was very lucky in that case because when I joined the TCS, okay,
Hmm.
I cracked it off campus because
Okay.
I come from a tier 3 college. So it was a government college, but not much campusing was there. So
Hmm.
obviously I had to crack it off campus. So we had huge competition up there, like 5 lakh to 6 lakhs things students, they appear for the NQT exam, which happens each year, right?
Yep.
And from there you have to crack the first package, which is the
Ninja
the
package.
3.5.
Ha ha ha.
Correct. That package you have to crack. And in that particular test, if you come to the top 10%, then you have to give a separate coding test, right? So
Hmm.
that's called the toppers test. And if you come in the top 10% and you crack that test also, which consists of two medium to hard coding
Question.
questions. So
Hmm.
graph will be there, TP will be there, such kind of questions will be there. If you crack that, then you will be selected from the digital
Digital role.
profile. So
Correct.
yeah. So currently they have also introduced one more profile, that is the prime, right?
Hmm.
Profile. So in like what used to happen during our times, that there were two kind of roles in TCS for the fresher. So
Hmm.
one was your Ninja, which was 3.5, and the digital, which was 7 lakh ka,
7
right?
by. Hmm.
So yeah. And nowadays they have also launched one more package called Prime, which is of 9 LPA,
9.
right?
Hmm.
When when I actually passed that particular test, and then my the interview was scheduled, and in that there were three rounds: the tier round, the MR round, and the HR round. And finally, after all that, I cracked that particular digital package, and I
Hmm.
joined the company. But what happens is, and what I am seeing also these days, that most of the projects in a service-based companies are support kind of projects. So
Hmm.
you need to understand the difference between two kinds of packages. So there is a support role and one is a development role.
Correct.
Development role means you have to code in in your specific tech stack. It can be MERN, it can be React, it can be Angular, it can be
Hmm.
.NET, it can be Java,
Hmm.
things like that. In
Okay.
support, what happens is the application is already built. You have to provide support for the particular thing. It also has that brackets, L1 support, L2 support, L3 support. So
Okay.
most product in most
Service
service-based
based.
companies, most projects are this kinds
Support
of
project. Okay.
projects only,
Hmm.
support role. So I was very lucky. I did not get that kind of role. I am not saying that all support projects are like that or thing, but I am a person who is hardcore into coding, right? I
Okay.
love if you give me something to code, I won't leave the space until or unless it's done. So I am really so much interested in that. So if I was thrown into a that kind of role which did not include any kind of code, so
Hmm.
probably I would have gave things up. Okay, dude, नहीं होगा मेरे से. Okay, but I was
Correct.
very lucky that I got selected for a research profile specific. So what happens there is, like, you have to work in a particular tech stack, and on top of that, whatever new technologies are coming, say for example, right now generative AI is coming, AR,
Mm,
VR is there, metaverse is there. Okay,
mm.
your
NLP,
concept of
LLMs.
blockchain.
Correct.
Exactly. Blockchain is there, smart contracts are there,
Hmm.
Fabric
Hmm.
is there. So all kinds of new tech stack which is coming. You have to make like applications out of that, and that things needs to be presented to the client. So our
Okay.
role is a customer facing role.
Hmm.
You actually make that particular application which consists of all trending technologies. Then you have to present it in front of the client. Okay, you have to sell it to the client, and if the client likes that particular thing, he will be onboarded. So my role is two kind of role. One is developing code and then bringing the client. So both roles are there, and it's a very challenging as well as very interesting role. That's
Okay.
why I love what I am doing currently, and that's one of the reason why I am still here, still like
Hmm.
in this company. Although I think right, if someone is like actually starting his career with an MNC, he actually learns professionalism and all those things rather than like if he is starting his like you see every company, be it a startup, be it a MNC, be it a product-based company, everything, if you are working in that particular company, has different things to offer you. You just need to extract those good parts from it, right?
Correct.
And
Hmm.
that's what actually makes you professional and actually helps you to grow in your career. Because this career, this pathway is so much long. We are just young, like 23 to 54, and we have to go till 60, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
it is a long road. We have
Hmm.
miles to go right now. So all I am trying to say is, like, wherever you are currently, try to extract whatever the good things you are getting from that particular role, or wherever you are,
Hmm.
right? And then if you think, no boss, today I have worked all day, but my life is stuck over there, I am not feeling any growth. When I am saying growth, not only in terms of financial growth,
Mention. Hmm.
but
Hmm.
from also your career perspective, right? From
Correct.
also your learning perspective. If you are not learning, if you are not growing in your career, if you think that everything is stuck, it's
Hmm.
time for you to move on and take that call. But before that, try to extract all those good things from your job wherever you are. So yeah, that's
Amen.
a brief.
Fabulous, fabulous. I mean, what I mean, I get from you that, being
Hmm,
into any kind of company is quite being subjective. It depends not only being onto the
correct.
company, like we just started giving the label of services companies and started doing or saying that this is not, growth oriented, we would be not having. It's more about personal thing, like in under which manager you are working with, because in your case, as you mentioned,
Hmm.
that you are already been onto that case where you are handling those product thing and also dealing with the customer there, so you'd be having the great interest out there. Okay, so now let's start with your journey, like since you entered into the college. So since very beginning
Hmm.
of the first year you started exploring this coding thing, or like how did you came across that, okay, development is something where I look up to this? Like, give me the step by step thing, that how did you follow those things and how the things evolved with the time in the college especially.
Okay, great question. So, see, first of all, my journey is a bit different from all, right? So, like, whenever someone thinks of becoming an engineer from his childhood, right? So,
Hmm.
what is the first thing that comes to our mind? That that particular person will be like from his class fifth or class sixth, he must be into computers.
Hmm.
At least if he is not into hacking or, or those kind of stuff, he must be playing games in a computer,
Correct.
like he must be so much like excited about computers and
Computers.
all. In my case, if I tell you very frankly, in my first sem, I can still recall my first sem was the first time when I first touched a computer. Okay,
Correct.
before that in my entire life I have not even switched on a computer. Okay, because I call myself, like, that is the main reason why I call myself an accidental engineer.
Engineer.
I was not like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
engineering was not my intent, not what I wanted to be from the beginning of my life, of my career. I always
Hmm.
wanted to be a doctor. Okay, I also got selected into a like a government college in the like not in the MBBS role, but
Hmm.
in a VVS role. But
Biggest.
then there were some kind of like financial crunches were there, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
things were there. For that, I couldn't afford to take a year drop and then again prepare for NEET exam and then
Mm-hmm.
again appear for the same and then crack those things. Okay, so at the same time, I cracked multiple at that time I cracked actually multiple joint entrances, right? And WBJE was one of them, and I got entered into a government college. And in government colleges, your fee structure is
Thesis.
very less. Okay,
Yep.
you actually pay for 4 years of engineering. You actually pay like really less
Mm-hmm.
things. So that was the main reason why I got into that, right? And at that time actually campusing was really good. Okay, at that time, as you can see in today's context, so layoffs are there,
Mm-hmm.
job openings are really less. But at that time, which is the post when lockdown was not there, right? So
2019.
at that time compassing was good. Okay, if
Correct.
you do engineering, then you will land a job. So
Correct.
there was a certainty which I saw in this particular career field, and that was the reason why I jumped into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then all of when you have dreamed of something from your childhood, but that has not happened with you, and you are thrown in a whole new different zone, in a whole new different field, you have nothing to lose. Okay, so that
Mm-hmm.
was my mindset that see, I have two options, right? Either I bear up, cope up with this, or I completely quit all of this and I will be lost in my life. Okay, so two options were there. So I had nothing to lose actually, so I started exploring everything. That was the first thing which I did. So I first trial like at the same time I started learning C, Python, Java, all of these things. And gradually I saw whenever I tried exploring this thing, first I started with AIML, right? So all this, so I started. Python was my first programming language, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
after that, I got into C, C++, things like that. But whenever I started with Python, okay, I really liked it because Python is actually a very beginner friendly thing, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
you talk about PS, about programming languages, right? So Python is undoubtedly the most easy programming language to learn
Mm-hmm.
for a person who is just starting
Correct.
in tech, right? So I dive deep into it. I started exploring different offerings that Python has. AIML was obviously the number one use case of this. Apart from that, there is Django, there is Flask. So I explored those things also. I can still recall at that time I used to think that I know Python. अब इससे तो मैं मतलब दुनिया जीत लूंगा, इससे मेरे को जो करना है पाइथन में ही करना है, पाइथन से ही करना है. So I can still recall I used to make games in Python using Pygame. I used to
Mm-hmm.
make backend and full stack applications in Python using Django and Flask. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then AIML to obviously was there, right? So I started data science, AIML, exploring different Python libraries, right? But
Mm-hmm.
up to a certain stage, when I was diving deep into AIML, I think, yeah, I am now building so much kind of AIML stuff, right? So much models I am gradually developing. But how will the user interact with those things, right? Because actually what happens is when you code in AIML, you have a collab or a
Uh-huh.
Twitter notebook,
Correct.
right? And you write code from top to bottom. But how will the user, say for example, someone who is a layman user,
Mm-hmm.
जिसको पता ही नहीं कि AIML होता क्या है, so how will that person connect to that thing? That is when I started thinking about how to expose my AIML models to a user who can actually use it. So
Mm-hmm.
then I learned about applications and web. So I am actually a person who was an accidental engineer. Gradually, he started into AIML, and from AIML, I bounced back to full stack. Okay, so that has been my learning journey, and I think it is really unique, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
from a place where I knew that I don't have anything to lose at all, and from there I started jumping, started exploring everything. Then I caught one single track, and from that gradually, by that supply and demand rule, I jumped
Mm-hmm.
into web development. Then from web to mobile development, and so on. And from there, I jumped into full stack, right? So I first learned obviously the basics of web, so HTML, CSS,
This is
JS.
so.
One
Mm-hmm.
person I obviously have to name, and everyone will agree with me. At that time, when I am talking about 2018, 2019, there
Mm-hmm.
were very limited web dev courses, or web dev things which were in YouTube. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess everyone will agree with me. Code with Harry is the
Harry.
pioneer of all,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
everyone started from there.
Correct.
Everyone, especially who is from my batch or of the same age, they
Near
will
about.
agree
Correct.
upon on this point. We all started from there. So a huge shout out to him and a huge thank to him, because he actually has contributed in making so many skilled developers. He has given us that particular benchmark or that particular platform on which we can further build upon. So I obviously started from him, right?
Mm.
I started with HTML, CSS, JS, and all from code with Hari itself, and then I particularly jumped into React. So I cracked my first internship while I was in third year, and that was for a React.js developer role.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got that internship, actually, I had only 1 week of like it has been 1 week since I had started learning React, and I अप्लाइड फॉर अ जॉब. ओके, तब तो हम लोग स्टूडेंट थे, उतना अकल भी था नहीं, ठीक है. तो आई जस्ट लर्न अ टेक स्टैक,
Applied.
ठीक है, तो चलो स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. राइट. तो कर दिया था. एंड आई गॉट सिलेक्टेड इन स्टार्टअप. बट
Mm-hmm.
आफ्टर गोइंग इनटू दिस, द सीईओ इटसेल्फ टोल्ड मी कि ये ऐप है, ये तेरे को 10 दिन में बना के करना है, ठीक है. तो आई गॉट लॉस्ट कि यार ये 10 दिन में कैसे होगा, मैं 1 वीक हुआ मेरे को रिएक्ट सीखते हुए.
Correct.
अभी उस बंदे को पता नहीं है कि
Mm-hmm.
इट्स बिन 1 वीक सिंस आई हैव स्टार्टेड रिएक्ट, राइट? सो
Mm-hmm.
ही डिडंट न्यू. ही तो विल बी लाइक कि यार तुझको हायर किया है तो मतलब काम करवाने के लिए, तूने कहा था
Mm-hmm.
कि यू नो रिएक्ट, राइट? तो कर
Mm-hmm.
कर अब काम करके दे मेरे को 10 दिन में. तो दैट वाज द मोमेंट व्हेन आई रियलाइज, डूड, आई हैव स्टूड अप. Have screwed up, and that 10 days were the, I still consider them as the most darkest days of my life, because I
Mm-hmm.
used to work 20-22 hours. I used to sleep 1 or 2 hours each day,
Oh
because
my
the
God.
like it was my first internship, right?
Hmm.
And I knew कि अगर ये नहीं कर पाया, अब तो मेरा करियर गया. ओके. So
Hmm.
it was my thing. Though it was not like that, guys, because if you join a company, you start as an intern. तो ऐसा
Hmm.
होता है कि everybody is expecting that you are intern, you are here to learn. Obviously, you need to have some skills, but it's okay. If someone is saying you have to make it in 10 days, if you give it in 13 days also, 15 days also, it's fine,
Hmm.
completely fine.
Correct.
But I took that thing on me,
Okay.
और मैं क्या करता था, 8-10 घंटे में ऐप बिल्ड करता था. एंड आफ्टर दैट वट एवर टाइम वॉज लेफ्ट, आई यूज टू स्टडी रिएक्ट. आई यूज टू स्टडी इट फ्रॉम एवरीवेयर. और तब एट दैट टाइम देयर वर नॉट मेनी गुड कोर्सेज ऑन रिएक्ट, राइट? देन आई
Hmm.
टुक दैट थिंग ऑन माई पर्सनल ईगो, राइट, कि ये कैसे नहीं हो रहा, ये तो करना ही है मेरे को, ये तो होके ही रहेगा, ठीक है.
Hmm.
तो दैट इज हाउ आई केम इन टच विथ रिएक्ट. एंड फ्रॉम माई second year of college, during my internship, I started in React, and till date, that has been the constant thing in my tech stack. React is a one thing that I have been keeping, building things on till now. Okay, so it's been 5 to 6 years of me in React. Back then, when functional components were not a thing, like
Hmm.
only class-based components were there. So React was like really new at that time. So from that time, I am working in this particular tech, and somehow I managed to do that particular app in 14 days. I submitted it, and 3 months का हुआ वहां पर. फिर I successfully completed that particular internships. And
Hmm.
after that I cracked one more in the
Okay.
same role, React.js role. और
Okay.
तब तो मैं मतलब ऐसा था कि I have built something. Okay, I
Hmm.
have that I had that confidence कि अब मैं कुछ build कर सकता हूँ. If I get like further task to do something, I can do that. And I also completed that internship. And then my third year came. Then
Mm.
I gave this particular NQT exam of campus. फिर ये सब हुआ, which I told you that
Uh-huh.
first I sat for the duty exam. Then I gave the toppers test, and then 3 rounds of interview. Then I cracked like TCS in my third year itself. ठीक है, उसके बाद एक साल आई वॉज चिल कि नहीं, आई हैव अ जॉब ऑफर इन हैंड, लेट्स चिल. दैट वाज द डम्बेस्ट मूव इन माय लाइफ. आई शुड हैव been,
In far
given
better
more.
place. Uh-huh.
Far, yeah, exactly. I could have been landed in a far better place, because at that time I was preparing for GATE exam, right? And in the mid of GATE exam, I got this digital offer from Tata, and I was like, यार 50,000 का मतलब ऐसे मिल तो रहा है ना. आई एम थिंक दिस गेट का. फिर क्या हुआ कि gradually my focus from GATE exam got like I lost that particular path, I lost particular
Mm-hmm.
track, and then वो exam उतना अच्छा गया नहीं, because like my mind at that time was कि GATE to appear for GATE, do my कि फिर higher studies करो, फिर come to this whole
Ultimately, you'll
world
have
of
to.
computer.
Correct,
हाँ.
correct.
So that was the mind. But yeah, once I cracked that thing, I actually gave a bit down on my skills. And
Mm-hmm.
after college, I actually cracked like 2 or 3 more companies. But
Okay.
I decided to join
PC.
this company itself. Yeah.
Oh my God, great journey. I mean, a lot of things to process, but I should say the kind of learning trajectory you had been gone through with since first year to final year, it was really great and impressive. So I'll like to cut you down at the point of TCS NQT, because this time it's also gonna to be happening, I
Hmm.
think, few days in March also in this month.
Hmm.
So if you can give some tips and strategy to actually the guy who are preparing for NQT, especially the kind of resources you would be giving as an employee who are already working there. So how was that NQT work for you, and how was your preparation that time that you were able to crack that? So please give a brief about this NQT exam.
Yeah, sure. So see, specifically as I have told you, like in QT was actually not the exam I was specifically preparing for. Okay,
Correct.
and I also advise to everyone that targeting a particular exam and you are preparing for it, until or unless it's an exam like GATE or a CAT,
Hmm.
like this kind of things, you should not, prepare ki I will prepare 1 year dedicatedly for NQT only. That's like, don't do it. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
because
Hmm.
it's not worth it. First
Yeah.
of all, because you see, if you talk about NQT, if you talk about InfyTQ, which actually is
For
from
Infosys.
Infosys, you
Uh-huh.
have your all other companies there also. The things they ask in their interviews is pretty much the same. Your attitude should be good. There will
Hmm.
be a round audit, so your medical abilities has to be good, your reasoning and all. So
Hmm.
you need to practice those things, because those are like common for each and every off campus, or even
On
on
campus.
campus that you are
Correct.
preparing for. So you can actually follow pretty much a standard aptitude book for that,
Hmm.
right? And apart from that, from the coding side, actually,
Hmm.
what I think is, specifically if you are targeting the ninja role, ki no, like कि उतना हो जाए तो चलेगा, तो उसके
Hmm.
लिए you don't need to prepare for DSA as such, क्योंकि उसमें DSA पूछा भी नहीं जाता है उतना लेवल तक. If you know how to express your code, how to express your logic into any programming language you are comfortable, or preferably Java or C++ or Python, right? These three are the most standard in case of this kind of companies. Once you start like thinking about the product-based companies and all, you
Hmm.
can go ahead with any programming thing you like, right? But these three companies, their compiler is specific to these three things only. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you either has to choose Java or Python or C++, right? So in these three, just revise the basic concepts of it. What are strings? What are the primitives in those things? How to write for loops? It is very pretty dumb things to do. So you
Mm-hmm.
can prepare on those things and just go like if you get selected for the further step, okay, that
Mm-hmm.
10% thing which I just said,
Mm-hmm.
then actually you need to prepare for some amount of the DSA. So one question from the DSA would be easy to medium and one will be medium to hard. What I have seen in recent patterns is that one question will definitely there from graph or DP. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
graph or DP, one question will definitely be there, and the other one can be everything. It can be sliding window, it can be linked list, it can be
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, so these topics then you need to prepare for some resources which I particularly which I particularly followed at that time was Stiver's
Mm-hmm.
sheet. Okay, from that I used to solve questions from this side. So now if you are preparing for it, you can just go to the TQ for Harvard's YouTube channel, right? You can go there. There
Mm-hmm.
is a playlist for free, which is
Mm-hmm.
known as Strivers A
A to
to Z
Z.
DSA.
Correct.
So you can prepare all those things from there. It will obviously take some time. So he has also one more playlist that is also for free, both in YouTube as well as in their
Website. Mm.
website. So you can actually go there and you can prepare those topics. Okay, and
Correct.
after that you can for your interviews there will be generic questions
Mm-hmm.
for technical round. They might ask you to code something or what are the technologies, what they basically look for you is if you have worked in a technology or a tech stack that is being used in the industry. It can be Java, Spring, or it can be Merge stack, it can be Mean stack, it can be
Mm-hmm.
IML. Okay, so prepare one tech stack which clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and the MR and inter rounds are chill. They will ask you some behavioral questions like if this is a given condition, how will you act? For
Uh-huh.
example, if you have a deadline
Uh-huh.
to do a task in one day, but you
Mm-hmm.
know that you can't do that thing in one day. So how will you act in that
Correct.
thing? Okay, so such kind of questions will be there, and after this three rounds are done, you probably will crack this thing, and you might end up either digital or the prime offer. So that is the step-by-step process, which I particularly followed at that time. Also, I have spoken about the context in today's what is happening these days
Uh-huh.
also. So
Correct, correct.
yeah.
Thank you. I think this particular process, step-by-step procedure gonna to help a lot of candidate who are really aspired for any kind of service-based companies they are looking for a job. Okay, now I feel that we'll have to wrap up this session in next 5 minutes. So at the end of this video, if you really wanted to give one lesson or one particular characteristic, if I just ask from you that every tech enthusiast or a tech person who wanted to get a good job or really wanted to establish a career into IT must have, so what one characteristic everyone should have? Yeah,
I will say three characteristics. Okay.
sure, go with that.
So DSA, DSA, DSA. Okay.
Okay.
So your first three priorities should be this. Without DSA, landing a good job in today's whatever is there in the current IT industry, it's impossible to land a good job, a high paying job.
Hmm.
Okay, if you
Hmm.
are aiming for product based or startups, all of there will be DSA nowadays. Even all the service-based
This
companies
company.
have also started to ask DSA. So DSA you cannot ignore at any cost, guys. Please, I am always putting pressure in this particular word. You have to do it. You have to do it. There is no other option. till now, because hiring process is like that. If you don't know DSA, they won't hire you. Simple, as simple as that. The fourth thing, the third thing, the three thing, first three thing I said was DSA, DSA,
Skills.
DSA.
Okay.
Fourth thing was to be your full stack. Okay, you have to be full stack. Nowadays, where the job, the current market is having so much less opening, there are layoffs and all. AI has come, right? So it has pretty much automated the whole fresher game. If you are a
Hmm.
fresher, if you want to be in a company, so the company will first think that why should I hire him? I can, whatever he can do, AI can do better than him.
Far
So
better than this.
see from the company's perspective. So
Hmm.
if a senior guy is there, he will say, आप fresher को क्यों hire कर रहे हो? You give me a AI tool, you give me like कि आप मुझको OpenAI का वो कर दो, मैं ही उसका काम कर दूंगा. ओके, बिकॉज एआई विल डू दोस थिंग फास्टर.
Correct.
ओके, एक एक
Hmm.
फ्रेशर जी जितने टाइम में वो काम करके तुमको दे सकता है, एआई विल डू मच थिंग्स फॉर दैट. ओके,
Hmm. Hmm.
एंड द कॉस्ट इज also less in comparison to
Isn't it?
hiring this thing. So what you have to do, what happened to happen earlier was कि if you are good in DSA, and if you have if you have front end, or if you are comfortable in back end, it's okay. Nowadays,
Hmm.
this is not an option. You have to be full stack. Front end, if you want to keep your focus main on front end, then to some knowledge, to some extent, you need to know what are REST APIs, right? How to
Hmm.
make a simple CRUD app in the back end also. So you have to be full stack. That's the fourth thing.
Okay.
Fifth thing, what I am saying is your resume has to be good. Okay, that is the fifth thing. And the last thing, that you have to be good in those things, and you have to showcase your achievements really well. So your resume has to follow that particular like that particular form, right? And
Hmm.
you have to put all of your achievements there. It should be one page only. And
Hmm.
your every, see, your resume should also be TS friendly, right?
Hmm.
After
Hmm.
that, it you have a chance to get into those
Interview.
roles. Once your resume gets there, you get selected for this roles. Then you should think about it. कि हाँ, अभी I know this, I will crack this job. And also one more thing is, like in system design, if you are not preparing for HLD, then at
Hmm.
least LLD do prepare.
Hmm.
Okay, so these 5 to 6 things are nowadays most important and a mandate for all jobs. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Thank you so precisely. You shared a lot of immense knowledge for the freshers. I hope this whole conversational video about, TCS, neither for only TCS, but if somebody wanted to be full stack engineer, is gonna do helpful for them. So thank you for Rishabh for joining me here. I hope like many of the students gonna to get a lot of things from you. Thanks again. And if somebody have also some questions, so I'd be giving the LinkedIn ID of Rishabh. They can also ask their question there. Even they can also comment down that kind of thought or whatever question they would be having. Risha would be very available to give the answers there. Thank you.
sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.